Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we got this LGT1054 Cub Cadet. I've been through a lot of stuff here on it. I was going to have a video on how you should check the PTO clutch for a bad bearing before you sell it thinking the engine's locked up. Well, guess what? I went through this whole video maybe thinking that's possibly what it was, even though it was a gamble when I bought it. Not the case whatsoever. The engine is in fact locked up. Was probably ran low on oil, just like the listing said. But hey, I took a gamble on it and I lost. Sometimes that's what happens, and anytime you're trying to flip a mower or any other kind of small engine equipment piece. But we've got a brand new channel coming out, and it's called Small Engine Edge. It's going to go over a lot of these business type things with taking care of every aspect of a small engine repair company from the ground up. I'm going to go through all that, and then once we get enough subscribers, I'm going to start a brand new small engine repair company in another location and show you exactly how to do that. Today, unfortunately, the luck of my 2025 did not take me to where I wanted to be with this mower. I wanted to have, a $2,000 mower for $250. Well, didn't work out like that. We will salvage everything that we can. Sell some parts on eBay to kind of recoup our costs, and then we're going to keep the whole drivetrain and all the rest of it besides the engine, and we're going to put a new engine on it at some point. The rest of this video is going to be dedicated to, we're going to tear this engine apart and see exactly what happened on the inside. Now I've got it all, pretty well pulled apart now. I've got the flywheel off, the coils off, I've got the PTO clutch and everything else off, bolts out. I've kind of went through everything to see exactly what was going on. If you want to see the video on that I originally made and started off on, where my heart gets broken, watch at the end. I'll go ahead and post that there. But for now, I'm going to pull this engine just over to the side, and we're going to pull it apart and see the destruction inside. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as we go along if you enjoy that content. Again, it's kind of a mess all around here. I had everything pulled off one piece by one piece. I thought for sure it was going to be that PTO clutch. I see a lot of these where the PTO clutch, the top bearing's locked up, and people think that it is the engine. Again, not the case here. The thing that kind of baffles me is I don't see an oil leak at all, and there is a good amount of oil in it, or was until I drained it out here to do this. So the person I bought it off of must have known that that was the case, but they were very forthcoming with that information. They did say that they thought that's what was happened, but sometimes you like to make bets on things that aren't a sure thing, and I did here. And you could say I lost, but really, ultimately, this will be a good mower once we get a new engine on it, and we'll make a good profit on it, but not as much as what I had hoped. Let's get this engine pulled off and over onto that other table so we can see what's going on. So again, I've got everything taken off, took the flywheel off just to see if maybe the magnets had came loose and were stuck in between the magnets. Got to take our oil fill, our oil drain off here, so we can get to this 10mm bolt behind it. Should be pretty well drained, but I'm sure there's some residual oil in there, always is. Get a couple rags and we'll bust this thing open. Yeah, quite a bit of silver in the bottom. Silver chunks and such. All up through here. It's a lot of silver. And you can tell it's got fresh oil in it. Couldn't tell that from the dipstick. It looked kind of like it was mixed. Still not really seeing what seized up to cause our issue. Thought I could maybe get lucky and just pull the cam out, but doesn't look like that's going to work so well. Let's open up each side valve cover. Figured maybe I'd get lucky on one portion of this today. Pop each one of these push rods out on either side. And a lot of times when I have these open, I'll save stuff like this just in case I have something of mine. It's gonna need push rods or anything like that. This is just to take the tension off the cam, so you can get everything out and see exactly what seized up on it. Alright, all the push rods are out. Almost seems like the cam's definitely really worn in there. That cam bearing's bad. Sleeve where it fits. Wow. Don't want to come out of there for anything. Very, very stuck. Yeah, that one's loose as can be. It's not stuck there. It's got to be stuck at the bearing itself on this, because neither one of those connecting rods are jammed up. Got to be stuck at this bearing here. See if I can get this gravity working with us. can't get this to go. Well, we've got this far. Not really a whole lot of dramatics to it or anything like that with it being stuck on that top bearing. I was hoping to see some exploded action or something, but nothing like that on this one. Guys, go ahead and subscribe to our new channel if you want to see any of the business side of things. Not that that has anything to do with kind of what we're going through now, as opposed to, you know, taking a loss for now and moving on, right? Hit that like and subscribe button also if you enjoyed the content. Thanks for watching. Today we got this LGT1054 Cub Cadet. We bought it off Facebook for $250. They said that they were driving along and mowing and it sounded like it was running out of oil, which was kind of a weird thing to say. Maybe it was out of oil, maybe it wasn't. When I picked it up, first thing I did was check the oil, of course. It's got decent oil in it. It doesn't look brand new, so I'm really hoping we get a good start out to the year with this one being a home run as opposed to a junk engine. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as we go along if you enjoy the content. Oil does not look brand new, which is a good sign, and it is full. Kind of worries me because it doesn't look like it's a well-used oil, but the oil filter actually looks pretty well brand new too. So, pull the top cover off. Go ahead and pull the shroud here also. We're gonna see if we can't get this thing to free up with a breaker bar. Fan shroud just pops up and off. Got a little bit of grass and stuff in there, but nothing too bad. Ooh. I mean, that thing's tighter than a drum. When you go to hit it with the key, you can tell the starter's jammed up. And as I'm looking down here, the starter is jammed into the flywheel. So what's going on is kind of anybody's guess at this point. I would try to move this backwards, but the bolt's just gonna come loose. I'll take the plugs out here real quick. See if it has anything to do with fuel being in the cylinders. Sometimes that'll cause them to lock up like this if the carburetor has drained into the cylinders. Normally you'll smell that in the oil and the oil will be overfilled. Wasn't the case here, but check that next anyway. There's a screw out here, so either somebody's messed with this recently and actually knows that that is the problem, or it was just something that wasn't put back in at some point. Trying to turn it over again here. No budge whatsoever. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and remove the starter. I doubt it's the starter that's locking it up, but just to be sure, we'll take it off. Just a couple 10mm bolts. Pretty easily accessible on this. Starter seems like it's okay. Still not free. I wasn't really expecting it to be. Now at this point, first thing you think is, hey, it's locked up, right? I'm not sure, but I suspect the issue is something different. I'm gonna go ahead and take the pin out of the deck and jack the front of the deck up here, because there's really only one more thing that would be causing something like this. And this is what I was hoping from the start it was, so hopefully it is. Kind of sounded like this issue from what they described. So we've got the deck up most of the way. I'm going to go ahead and roll the belt off here real quick if I can. Don't want to roll off real easily. I'll take this keeper off, get it out of the way first. Should make it a little bit easier now. Unplug the clutch up top. And it does look like the clutch has oil on it down below, which is not a good sign. I was hoping this thing wasn't leaking oil anywhere. We're going to take the clutch off. So I'll roll this off first if I can. Belt out of the way. Let me go up just a hair to give me plenty of room to work there. Clutch isn't wanting to come off. Put the bolt back in and I'm going to use an air hammer. Guess if I went the right way that'd help a little bit. No, that's not oil. It's actually just water on the clutch. That's a good sign. And the clutch is free. That's not a good sign. Well, I guess there goes my good fortune for the beginning of 2024. I guess it's 2025, huh? Let's go ahead and take this top off and see what's up underneath just for the heck of it. We might do a full deep dive and figure out exactly what happened to this engine too. Wouldn't hurt anything. It looks to me like that magnet is actually up against there. Surely that can't be it. Not the problem at all. All right, there is one last thing. We could have an issue with the stator magnets on the bottom. Let's take it apart, see. Really grasping at straws here. Oops, wrong one. I need to take this other one off before that's going to come. Stator magnets are perfect. Not going to be our issue.